I'm Councillor Mike Bonfield and I'm presently Chairman of the Town Council and the Mayor of Swanage.
And how long have you been involved as a councillor in the Town Council?
I was elected in 2012 firstly, and for some reason the residents of Swanage re-elected me in 15, and then again this year, and I'm a bit concerned whether I'm doing something right or wrong, I'm not sure, but they keep putting me back in.
And what does the role of Mayor entail? As
Mayor of Swanage, I'm actually basically the chairman, so I chair all the full town council meetings, and I also represent Swanage at many different organisations around not only Swanage but Dorset as well.
And why did you get involved in the first place?
Back in the early 2000s, I started attending as a member of the public, and I was getting a bit vocal and talking to councillors at that time. I felt that some of the things they were saying were incorrect, in my view. And in 2010, I was asked to stand for council, and for a year I said I wouldn't, but then I finally agreed, and then I joined the council and was elected in 2012 to get my view over and the view of a local.
And so what did you do before being mayor? What was your role, or what jobs did you do? Just
previous to the 2000s, I was a full-time lifeboatman here in Swanage, and I'd done that for 12 years, but unfortunately was medically retired when I'd had a major operation on my wrist, not due to a fantastic rescue, but unfortunately it was due to a football injury of when I was a lot younger. And I then became a cleaning contractor, and a lot of locals would have seen me around the town cleaning the shop windows or talking to people.
So you've always been very involved in the Swanage community?
I've been very involved. Before joining the lifeboat, I was a postman, so I think I know a lot of people around the town. I've just started almost volunteering to do a bit of taxi driving for somebody. And it's quite interesting because people are surprised that I know where they live, and it's quite amusing. Yes.
So do you think you'll ever retire?
No. Don't tell the wife that.
And so as mayor, do you get invited to a lot of events?
Yes, they can vary from opening up something new, as is this week, the 26th of October, we're opening the new bandstand, and obviously it's a big thing for the town. It could be just going to an over 60s dinner with a group of elderly people, and they are just as enjoyable. In the next few weeks I'm going to a couple of the residents' homes, Cliff Top and York House, and hopefully just sitting down and having a chat with the residents about what I do.
So you joined the council because you wanted to make a difference. You felt you could actually add something and achieve things. What's your sort of passion? What do you hope for to do while you're mayor?
I feel that we live in one of the best places in the world, and I don't think there is that much wrong with it. And my aim is to maintain what we've got for our future generations, because it would be too easy to let it degrade, and improvements are not always the best way forward. And we've done this in Swanage. We made major investment in the seafront with the beach huts, which were forced on the council because the wreck behind it was sliding down into the road. So it was forced on the council to do. We've done that, and we're now looking at doing the spa, the beach huts further along, and in the next 2 or 3 years that will be a major project, because exactly the same, that is sliding down into the sea.
And so what would you say is your vision for Swanage for the future?
If I can give my next 4.5 years left as a councillor, if I don't stand again, I think if we can maintain it and tidy up what we've got, I'll have felt that I've done a good turn. We're very lucky with the councillors that get elected. The hardest part is sometimes it's a lot harder to do things than what you think they are. We are often asked to do little things, and sometimes it's not in the remit of a town council. We get the blame for a lot of things which are not our fault. Highways and pavements, weeds, things like that, and nothing to do with the town council. They're all the new Dorset Council. We as a town council take on a lot of stuff, and we do a lot of stuff that are not our jobs. And we're lucky with the managers we've got, whether it be the information centre, finance or the operations team, they go far above what they're here and employed to do.
So what would you say are the best bits about Swanage?
My personal view is the people. But on saying that, I have never enjoyed August in Swanage, and I'm born and bred. So I've never enjoyed August, it's too busy. Nobody's got time for anything. Everyone's earning the money to get through the winter. But I believe June, July, September and October are the best months of the year. Locals have got time to talk to each other. They do things, the weather's still good. And there's so much to enjoy in Swanage.
And if a visitor came up to you and said, look, I'm here for the weekend, what shall I do? What would be your top tips? Make sure you've got a pair of walking boots and enjoy some of the walks around here. The walks up around Durlston, Anvil Point, up to Winspit, St Albans Head, or the other way, you walk over to Studland, and it's great. A walk over, a couple of pints in the Bank's Arms, and then a walk back. What better? Or if you go the other way, a nice walk up to the Square and Compass, a nice pasty and a pint, and then a walk back. And the walks are what I think is our strong point, and they're not really advertised enough. And obviously some of the beach and other attractions. I think we've got major attractions here. You know, we're lucky. We're not a Blackpool. We're not really a Bournemouth. We are quite unique. We've got a lovely sandy beach most of the time. Unfortunately, the sea does change out occasionally. But we do our best. We've always, I think now we're about the 20th year of getting our blue flag, which says a lot for water quality and our services on the beach. And you've only got to look at it most days. The beach is reasonably full. So it's nice for families, but I think sometimes you can have enough of laying on the beach. So there's a lot around us. Well, you like to be active, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, I love wandering around the town, and people will often see me wandering around. When I was working, steadily the cleaning, people would stop to me regularly and talk. And what I found is, if people can talk to you, you can actually satisfy them a lot easier than emails, telephone calls and whatever. Because when people sit and think about things, they actually get bigger and bigger. Whereas if they can tap you on the shoulder and say, Mike, have you had a look at the rubbish bin along Ocean Bay? It's off their shoulder, it's off, gone, done, dusted. And I think that's the way I've worked. The wife, when I first joined the council, she was adamant nobody should have our home phone number. They've got my mobile, and I probably get no more than a couple of phone calls from residents a month because they all talk to me.
Yeah, you like to be hands-on.
Definitely, yeah. I do find it hard sometimes, curtailing one thing what I say. The councillor code of conduct is quite strict, so when you're in the chamber or a councillor, you have to abide by that code of conduct.
But you enjoy the role?
I love it. I'd do it forever. I just love it, and I think doing the bit for the town, what greater honour could you have? The only regret I've had since I joined the council is one, my mother and father weren't here to see me become mayor of the town.
But I'm sure they're really proud.
Oh yeah, you know, they're up there looking over us. But you know, they were local. We go back to the 1600s in Swanage, so we are reasonably local. So I think it's one of the biggest honours I've ever had.
Well, they've already named a road after you, so.
Can I just, no, it's an avenue, please.
Oh, avenue, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, we're a bit upmarket.